Ever wondered why some winters feel unseasonably cold? Could the polar vortex be the culprit? Delve into the heart of our planet's poles, and you'll find a fascinating phenomenon known as the polar vortex. It's a vast region of low pressure and cold air that envelops both the north and south poles. Picture it like a gigantic whirlpool of frigid air, spinning in the stratosphere above the Earth's poles. The strength of the polar vortex fluctuates with the seasons. During the winter months, when the poles are plunged into darkness, it intensifies. The lack of sunlight cools the air in the stratosphere, causing the vortex to spin faster. Conversely, as summer approaches and the poles bathe in sunlight, the vortex weakens and becomes less defined. But here's where things get interesting. Sometimes the polar vortex expands, pushing the jet stream, a fast-flowing river of air that circles the Earth, southward. This displacement of the jet stream carries the cold polar air with it, sending icy chills far beyond the confines of the Arctic and Antarctic circles. This expansion is no random occurrence. It's typically triggered by a sudden stratospheric warming event, where temperatures in the stratosphere can shoot up by tens of degrees in just a few days. This rapid warming destabilizes the polar vortex, causing it to wobble off its axis and sometimes split into two or more swirling eddies of cold air. The result? Unseasonably cold temperatures in areas that are typically more mild. So, that sudden bone-chilling cold you experienced last winter, when you least expected it, could have been a ripple effect of the polar vortex's dance at the poles. It's a stark reminder of how interconnected our planet's weather systems are, with events at the poles having far-reaching impacts on climates thousands of miles away. So, if you've ever been caught in a sudden, unexpected freeze, you might have the polar vortex to thank. How exactly does the polar vortex influence our weather? Today, we dive into the science behind this fascinating phenomenon. You see, the polar vortex, a large area of low pressure and cold air that surrounds both of Earth's poles, has a significant influence on our weather patterns. When the polar vortex is strong and undistorted, it helps keep cold air locked in the Arctic regions. This often results in milder winter weather for areas in the mid-latitudes, which includes much of North America, Europe, and Asia. So, paradoxically, a stronger polar vortex can mean fewer snowball fights and less need for heavy winter coats in these regions. However, when the polar vortex becomes distorted or weak, it can lead to severe weather events. Take, for instance, the North American cold wave in 2014. This event, which brought record-breaking cold temperatures to parts of the United States and Canada, was linked to a distortion in the polar vortex that allowed frigid Arctic air to spill into the mid-latitudes. But what's causing these distortions? Climate change is a key suspect. As Arctic temperatures warm due to climate change, it can disrupt the stability of the polar vortex. This disruption can cause the vortex to weaken or become distorted, leading to more frequent cold air outbreaks in the mid-latitudes. So, ironically, global warming could make certain parts of the world feel a lot colder. What does this mean for our future? It underscores the importance of further research into the polar vortex and its relationship with global weather patterns. By better understanding this phenomenon, we can improve our ability to predict weather patterns and prepare for extreme weather events. From freezing temperatures to severe weather events, the polar vortex plays a crucial role in shaping our weather. So next time you're bundling up against the cold, remember, there's a lot more to our weather than meets the eye.